a valiant soldier in the ranks. We've lost him to the female trickery of feminism, but it's okay. We're gonna keep on pushing.
What's up, Alpha? It's your boy Alpha. I'm looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy. Putting it in your face.
Oh, that was crazy. That's not where I thought he was going.
Whoa. I ain't got no problem with dark-skinned girls. I bang them all the time. Wait, hold on.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Monterey Hudson, aka Started from the Bottom. Now we here. You'll understand why I say that later. And of course, this is Make It Make Sense, the review special. Joined, of course, by a colorful crew of collective people. First and foremost, to my immediate right, behind the veil of mystery, it is the man with the tape himself, the great Hollywood Sensei 215.
What's going on? It's your boy Hollywood Sensei the blur card teasy. We in the kitchen right now. I cook up for the, we'll be back.
Chef
My gosh.
Hollywood. Call him Chef Hollywood. And we are here. And of course, it is also the biggest fan of Reggie, except for me. It is, of course, Zell May.
I'm the biggest Reggie fan. It's your boy Alpha. Zell May, looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy.
Can you explain Reggie?
We will explain that later, not right now.
Okay.
Keep the Hollywood in respect. We'll explain that later.
Okay.
I did announce it. It was the pop I got the first time since No Way Home. I was like, I know that.
Fair enough.
They did the thing, Joe.
Fair enough.
And then, of course, under him, it is not Megan Thee Stallion. It's somebody better and prettier. It is, of course.
I know that's right.
Wonderful.
You better say a word today.
Miss Ebony Moonbeam herself.
Hey, everybody. What's up?
And finally,
I'll
we
give
are
on my
joined
info
by
later.
the opportunist himself, saying hey to all of the friends all over social media. It is Unico Williams, the new babyface bandit.
The new babyface bandit. How do you feel?
Hi guys.
He hates it.
I've never talked to a girl ever in my life, and I just thought I could try and change my life.
So what's happening in the chat? What's good, Mr. Warren?
What's that?
What up, Warren?
We got to go through review a few things. We, of course, are going to review the movie that is, of course, Bad Boys 4. But before that, there wasn't the only thing that happened over the course of this weekend. We did have a wonderful video game, announcement thing that was called Summer Games Fest. Normally an event that basically has replaced E3, where they have multiple video game announcements, trailers, sneak peeks, things of that nature. And this year wasn't really looking too hot. We can say so ourselves. It might have been a bit more of a snooze, when the highlights of Summer Games Fest is TV shows of things we're not really looking forward to. Maybe we got to start to rethink some of the stuff of Summer Games Fest, but you ain't got to say. You can hear from my lovely panel themselves. I'll just let them tell you themselves. It ain't just me. It's not just me. So, Zelme, what you been thinking about this year of games so far? And because Summer Games Fest wasn't really it.
I do want to give some shout outs. Metaphor, Refantazio looked fun. Slitterhead was interesting. Phantom Blade, Zero. I did like in Monster Hunter Wilds, even though we knew about 3 of those. But those were interesting trailers. We got no gameplay. And the one problem I'm noticing that we having is that every time I watch one of these game shows now, it's like a 75-year-old man or an 80-year-old woman announcing the game.
Hold on, there was a sister girl that hosted this, right?
Yeah, shout out to her. She was like the other. Then you got like this dude who looks like every dude that's ever been on IGN or G4, and he always hosts. And they find a new one that looks exactly like they got the same haircut and everything. They just host a show with the same like goofy content from the 90s, and everybody like, "Oh, bro, it's 2000." Why is Cassinet Night there introducing it? Why are you not using streamers who are popular to introduce your game instead of some 80-year-old woman who looks like in a Carlton Banks gear? Shout out to Phantom Blade Zero. That man in Phantom Blade Zero about 80 years old introducing the game. And I'm like, bro, this doesn't look fun. And all you're giving me are trailers. I know nothing about anything you're talking about. All I'm getting is trailers from games that I really ain't been. And half of it was indie games because PlayStation and Xbox then took their own direct, taking place of Nintendo after Nintendo did their own direct. Now PlayStation had their direct a few weeks ago. Now Xbox got theirs tomorrow. So now nobody wants to do Summer Game Fest, and now you get all the great games separated. So you get 2 games from each system. Maybe you're excited about that might work, might not work. Like you get God of War, Spider-Man from PlayStation. You don't really care about nothing else if they come out with it because this generation of console ain't had that many hits. So outside of the one that's on everything, like Elden Ring and stuff like that, but you ain't really had that many hits. So you get to 1 or 2 games a year. Like for instance, like last year, Xbox had Starfield. Might not have worked out as well as. Even though it's an all right game, but just they waited way too long to fix half the problems they had. Like you don't want to go to space and fly 40 minutes just to get to another place. That's stupid and boring. But that's just my thing. But again, you only get 1 or 2 games at each thing, and then you don't care about the rest of the games they show. And it kind of hurts because when you had E3 at its core, all the 2 or 3 games would be the same show. So now you have the 1 or 2, and now you're like, oh, I was excited about that one game I saw, and you just had you had 2 hours of the rest of the games that you did not care about. So I think they do have like a functioning issue.
Definitely a little song. Inigo Williams, do you share his sentiment with the Summer Game Fest and them in general?
This is what I can share about the Summerfest. First of all, the chat is so funny. I love live chats. They are hilarious. And y'all should do that on our show right now. Like if you're watching right now, live chat. But they all said, wrap it up. L, wrap it up. L. That was the whole chat. The whole couple of hours. And I thought it was hilarious. Actually, Afro Kami, our senior analyst when it comes to games, like honestly, he just said it. He dropped the bar. Like yes, this was an indie showcase, right? Is that what y'all feel like? Like, am I wrong? I'm leaving it open to the interpretation.
With the exception of a couple of things that we already knew about.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, basically.
All thing I saw new with Phantom Blade Zero, and I might have been already released, but I ain't heard of it. But that's
know what was funny to me is that I had a lot of shit going on yesterday, and the thing is that like I started from the beginning of the IGN stream, and they were showing like all of the things that they were basically about to show us again. So it's like Silent Hill and all that type of stuff. But I think, and I'm good. I'm like remakes and whatnot. But like I'm good with fine, fair, whatever. But y'all showed this before the show started, and so kind of where I'm at with Summer Game Fest is this: stop. It's over. It's just like E3. Like we used to love E3, and then actually I was looking on my Snapchat because we actually did a show about E3 ending. They said that they're done. We did a show. And that's essentially what's happened. Summer Game Fest, they put all that money together and they got all these people in probably like pretty cute seats and all that type of stuff. It's over with, man. Like, just like E3, it's over with. Like, everybody's doing their own individual thing. Sony's going to do their state of play. Xbox is going to die soon, but they did their thing, and that's just what it is at this point. Like that's where we're at. Everybody's doing their own individual thing and trying to make their money off of what they want to do, and it is what it is. That's what I got from Game Fest, and it's a whole bunch of indie games that are about to be $19.99 wherever you download them from.
You're such a mean person.
Oh no, that's me. I'm being mean. Oh, they hold on. Also, there's one more point.
Shout out to that toy game.
They showed us some trailers from shows. Thanks.
Among Us TV show coming out soon.
This should not be a thing.
Thank you.
This should not be a thing, bro.
Thank you. We appreciate that there's going to be a show.
I'm just not sure how it's going to be again. How it's gonna be a
Ray
show.
play one of the
When they don't talk, so is it going to give like? It could be cool if they had like the director of like Courage the Cowardly Dog, because there wasn't a lot of dialogue in that show, but make it suspenseful. Well, they kill you. You're trying to kill some people like on Among Us and stuff. So if you went that way, like I feel like that would snap because it's already kind of creaky. No, it's like creepy. Like, when was the last time you played Among Us?
Miss Ebony, I apologize. I don't want to talk anymore. Does it remind you of like maybe you should get the director of Death Note? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Something like
I want the director. No, I want the director of Courage because first off, there's no dialogue in Among Us on the game. So the fact that there is so little dialogue in Courage the Cowardly Dog, I think that will cross over well because they did a good job of making it creepy. I just recently rewatched an episode of Courage, and I was like, I'm 33 years old, and this shit is still creepy. The one with the damn chicken, the one with the damn chicken and the creepy eggs. Yeah, like the shit is still creepy. And so the whole point of the game is to like get away with killing everybody on the damn ship and stuff. So there's like a creepy element to it that I feel like would play well, where you can still have like the lack of dialogue and still make it as nerve-wracking as it is when the lights go out in the room and you're trying to finish a task and you hoping that your friend next to you ain't about to end your life. So I think it can be done. It just needs the right director. But I digress. When it comes to the game,
no, don't do M. Night. Don't do that because that's going to bring. It's about to become a multiverse.
No, that one there was a violation. Personally, I wouldn't have it. And
that gets a violation for that. No,
got it. Mr. Hicks knows what's up. Shout out to Courage. But when it comes to the games, I had this conversation because we were going to do an episode on E3 or Wifey Views a long time ago, and it ended up getting scratched. And I posed the question though to the ladies because y'all know I'm not a gamer anymore. I don't claim to be. Now you want to see me on a throwback system, that's something different, but now not so much. But something that I had said was that I feel like E3, it was affected by the pandemic, but after that, I think that the reason that it wasn't as popular is because me personally, as a person that is not already into a whole bunch of games, the point is to not only keep your players, but to bring in new people that are going to consume your product. And I just felt like there's been a lack over the years of very interesting and fun new games where I feel like everything is a lot of a continuation. And so I could be wrong because I'm not a gamer, but a lot of the things that I hear people talking about that people are in love with have been out for a while. Stuff like God of War and Elden Ring and stuff like that. These games aren't new. So we're getting newer versions, but they're not a new franchise. And so pulling new stuff and getting you interested, I just don't think they're making it. I think the game community, like the game realm, is starting to become like the movie realm, where we're just kind of rebooting the stuff that we know works, and we're not bringing in a whole lot of new things, because even once we do, we've seen that a lot of things aren't holding the same type of consistent popularity over time. The game that was similar to like the Pokemon or whatever, like I don't remember the name right now, because I watched Zelmay play it once on Twitch, but that game had all this hype around it, and then people started stop talking about it in a month. There's been a couple of games that have come out that were like that, where it's like, oh, it's so popular, and the people that love it stick with it, but everybody else, it ends up on the free page and shit, or the monthly sales page and stuff. So I just think
that's with the TikTok mindset. Once we beat the game, we don't care about it no more.
Well, I don't even think it's that, because I don't think people are even continuing to stick with that. Even with Among Us. Among Us is still extremely popular to the people that love it, but you don't hear people talk about it anymore. But when it first came out, you couldn't go anywhere or talk about games. You didn't hear anything that didn't include like Among Us. People were cracking jokes about Among Us. People were playing Among Us. I was playing Among Us like a crazy person during the pandemic. Like, it was insane. So I just feel like that's probably one of the reasons why we were given such a kind of snooze fest of a Summer Games. I don't think that it is the show itself. It's the quality of games that they're putting out now. They're just not that great. See, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. drops in 13 days. Doesn't compare. Don't compare to Power. No, I didn't. I'm
Do you believe in any of
comparing.
Hey,
these games?
Hey,
Sorry,
Tori,
I didn't
Tori
compare.
better say so. Do
Do
not
you
say
believe in any of
Elden
these?
Ring with nothing else.
Okay,
It don't matter how
No,
you say
but you
it.
see, I didn't compare it to Power World. I said
Nope,
when you
nope.
think about how popular Power World when it came out, for us to then not talk about it like in a month. But then you have stuff like Elden Ring that has been out and has maintained its popularity. It's no different than it's recency bias. Like we see something, we gravitate towards it. We're like, oh, this is the greatest game, just like we do with anime. And then in a couple of weeks or as time goes on, something else comes along that you're into, or you just decide to go back to your oldie but goodie because it's great. There's a lot of people out here that are replaying games that they've already beaten instead of starting new games.
Well, in that
Sometimes I wonder
instance,
if it's because I'm getting old.
Hollywood
Sometimes I
Sensei,
feel like old
you've
people
been
should-
You're
listening
not, but you're not the only gamer though. Like there's a bunch of kids out there that are playing and they feel the exact same way.
I don't know what happened to Hollywood Sensei. We may have lost him. But in that instance, I guess we can go ahead and ask. We'll ask Miss Ebony Moon, being that she's up here in the rest of the panel before we go to Bad Boys. Because next year will be one of the biggest years in gaming as of recent history, at least in the last 10 years, with the release of things like Monster Hunter Wilds, possibly another Nintendo console, and of course Grand Theft Auto 6, among other things. Do we need to just throw this year away and just call this year a failure in gaming? You know, we've already had some stinkers like Suicide Squad. You know, the biggest games are like indie blast out games like Helldivers 2 and Power World. Do we just need to just throw this year away in gaming already? Just throw it away in June and be done with it?
No.
To be honest, I can't.
Before you get into that, I just want to say that's the Monster Hunter. There's the Slayer right here. She is slaying today. Do y'all see that, y'all?
Oh, thank you. If I am answering honestly, as I stated before, I don't game a whole lot, so I don't feel like I can necessarily say throw it away because I haven't tested a whole bunch of new games that came out this year to say that and not come across as just someone that's like, yeah, if y'all agree, throw it away. Like if y'all want to keep it cool, because it doesn't really hold any weight for me one way or the other. I do believe that the upcoming year is going to be more enticing. I can honestly say, as someone that enjoys Grand Theft, I'm looking for that and stuff like that. But there's been nothing really outside of the handful of random, just like you said, kind of, they're not necessarily indie games. I think Gang Beast was kind of more indie, but like the Disney racing game and stuff like that, like it's not indie because it's Disney, but it's still not huge. And then we got MK and all that shit like that. Like, I don't think that there was anything that I saw advertised where I was like, oh yeah, I definitely have to play this. I have to check this out. Especially with having two co-hosts that are gamers and people saying you should do gaming content and shit like that. Me getting a new system and looking through the thing, I was like, none of this looks like something I would gravitate towards, especially as someone that is just getting back into gaming. So I don't really have an opinion fully on if it should be thrown away or not.
Nico Williams, should we throw it away? No, Daniel, we finna get it. We finna get to it, Daniel.
It's gonna be tough, man. Like I think honestly, it's all gonna be tough.
We back.
There we go.
Y'all with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like my thing is man, do y'all remember X-Play?
The TV channel?
Yeah, like the show. It was called X-Play, right?
Yeah, the TV show.
Yeah. And I used to be so happy on Saturdays watching that. Like, and he was telling us two magic. Like while they were cosplaying RPGs. I enjoyed that. And at this point, everything is so divided because there's going to be people that are going to be PC people. There's going to be people that are PlayStation people or Sony people. Let's say Sony, and there's going to be Microsoft people. And then that's all the things that are going on, right? And I just think they just need to just let everybody cross-play, right? Extended play. No, it's X-Play, extended play. Absolutely. The gaming community needs to come together. like all everything. just come together. Because this is when I found out how divided everything was, because Diablo 4 came out. I bought it. I've never played Diablo ever in my life, right? And I'm just playing it, and people are doing random things. I don't know. Thanks for helping me beat this beast. I didn't know what was going on. So with that being said, like, I just think the gaming community needs to stop like dividing itself. They need to come together, right? That's what I believe. And if they come together, then like I believe that developers will continue to make things that will make it, because everybody wants the same thing. Oh, it's almost like American politics. If just everybody would just pick a side and just choose the better good.
Hollywood, welcome back, my good friend. So we give the stage to you. The question I had posed is, because we have Summer Game snooze, not really a lot looking at this year. The best ones have been indie and pop out stuff like Power World, Helldivers 2, for example. And then next year is gonna be so big with stuff like Grand Theft Auto 6, Monster Hunter Wilds, maybe like a new Nintendo console, stuff like that. Should we just throw this year away and just be done with it? And just say, this year in gaming is just basically gonna be a flop and just go to the next. Should we just throw it away, including
My
the
bad,
game?
I didn't answer that question. I apologize.
The floor is yours.
Should we throw it away? Let me keep it a buck. Are y'all not excited for Lego Horizon? You not excited for that?
Here he goes.
You know what I mean?
Here he
Why
goes.
did you have something?
The troll
ready for this
god
already?
himself.
You ain't excited for Lego Horizon? Like, come on, man.
Oh,
Trolling Hollywood.
it's
But
like
no,
a
I
game
agree.
that we're not mad at, but we didn't need.
I do agree with several points, though. I do agree with Zelmay when he said that, you got too many streamers out here that are huge. And a lot of these gaming platforms or whatever developers, you aren't using those people to your advantage. Like, you know what I mean? You should be having those people promote and play your game so you can, further your fan base and whatnot. Now, I agree with Afro Kami. The gaming community will never come together because we literally have people out here who are up in an uproar, all this calamity because we have a black protagonist about to be on Assassin's Creed. So if we can't get past that, there's no way the whole community is coming together if you can't see past an actual historical black figure that existed in Japan and you're mad about him becoming a protagonist. As long as we have those type of problems still occurring, the gaming community will never come together. That's not happening. You know what I mean? Now,
Well, and we like friction too. So
yeah,
the console war is always going to be a thing too, because
right.
there's always going to be people that love something specific and they're going to fight to the death to defend it. And then there's other people that just like being trolls and being online and just being extra and saying, oh, I'm team this, I'm team that, when like, good for you.
Right.
If you don't mind, can you put a poll up or something in regards to the console wars right now? Who's actually winning or losing?
Nobody. Ain't no games coming out.
Shout out to the but to answer the overall question,
It's about make Game Pass. Just
I don't think you should scrap this year, because we still got. I don't care what nobody say. The game of the year is coming out in about a month, so you know what I mean.
NCAA 25.
Well, yeah, once that joint drops, you might not even see me on stream when that joint. Like, I might not even be doing my podcast when that joint come out, because
No, I am playing
I'll be
that.
on that joint. Like, I've been waiting
I
for
gotta buy
a new-
Xbox for this.
I've been waiting for another NCAA to drop
Who you
again.
playing with, Hollywood?
Well, I mean, I'm an LSU fan, so I'm rocking with LSU.
Fair
You know
enough.
what I mean?
Ohio State up here.
I am going to see what Colorado about, though. I'm gonna do a dynasty with the.
You gonna try to do something with Shador?
Yeah.
It's gonna be on PS5 too. You don't only need Xbox for that. But yeah,
I'm gonna do a dynasty, but no, don't scrap
crossover.
2024.
No cross.
Don't scrap 2024, Monterey. I think it's still games that's coming out for selective, whatever fan base of gaming that you are in, whether it's sports, adventure, RPG, fighting, whatever. Excuse me. There's a game that's about to release for you You know what I mean? Like I said, the NCAA is coming out. They about to drop the DBZ Sparkling Zero, John.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I mean,
Lord.
you know, so it's a couple, it's a few good Jones that's gonna come out. Now the games that they premiered on the, as they say, the Summer Lame Fest or the Snooze Fest, you know, if you an indie nigga, you fucks with it. You know what I mean? Indie gamers are still out there. You know what I mean? You know. Now I'm just, to answer Mr. Hicks' question, I'm just a sports fan. So I just like sports. I understand that Madden and 2K have been copying and pasting the same game for the past decade. You know what I mean? But I don't care because I like basketball, I like football. So I'm gonna continue to play the games. But I do want them to fix this shit though. Like, I mean, it's so much that could be added to Madden and 2K that y'all not adding because you don't want to spend money, but it'll make you more money if you put it into the game. Which, you know, I don't understand EA's.
They're giving them the cards so they can keep playing it. They make a lot of money off this. They don't care.
Yeah, as long as them niggas still spending money on Ultimate Team, they don't give a fuck. They gonna keep giving you this.
Okay.
They gonna keep giving you the same game because you know what I mean. But because I like sports, that's why I'm excited for the EA. I mean, for the NCAA. Like, I mean, I'm a football fan. Like, you know. So, but yeah, that's my take. Don't scrap 2024. It's still some good games that's coming out. Like I said, whatever genre of gaming you like, there's probably a game that's coming out that you won't fuck with. So, yeah, I mean, keep it going. Keep it pushing.
I do got one thing I do want to say before we move on, because I see the people want to talk about Bad Boys 4. But
We'll get to it. We're about to
I
do
do.
it.
I do want to say this. Yo, make complete games, please. I am very tired of y'all adding on to games a year, for 3-4 years. Why does ESO need a new gold road instead of just making a new game? Why do we? It's been too long. Just make a new MMO. Make something cool. Do something else. Run around. Why are we doing remakes of old games repeatedly? Why do we need a remake of every game that ever came out every year, director's cut? Why has Skyrim got 5 versions? I get it. It's popular. We know. That's what they make mods for. Why do y'all just keep adding games? Why is Cyberpunk took a year for it to do right before it actually got popular? I had to make a cartoon to bring it back. Anime to make it back. Why do y'all just not make the game complete? Wait a year. If it took you a year to fix it, just fix the game. Why it took a year for you to get vehicles in Starfield? Nobody want to run on an empty moon for 18 minutes with nowhere to play. That's why they stopped playing. It has potential. But I have to run 18 minutes to get to a space station. You wonder why people quit. It's fun when you get into it and monsters jump in your ship, but it take me 18 minutes to get to them. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima just got a director's cut. Why do we need that? Just make a Ghost of Tsushima 2. No, we just got to make money off it because it's easy. All right. I get it.
Well, I think that's going to do it for the video game. Cool. Now it's time for us to spoil everything. It's time for us to talk about this movie right here. It's here. It's been talked about in the comments. I hear you. I see you. And it's time. I'm going ahead and keep it a bean. We finna spoil everything. I'm not holding nothing back.
Spoiling everything.
I ain't holding back squat. If you ain't seen the movie and you want to be surprised by everything, I want you not to leave, because I'm about to make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate everything that you've been seeing, from this wonderful platform. We appreciate y'all, no matter where you're watching it. Like, comment, subscribe, of course, to Mega Bay 60 Podcast channel, because it is time to spoil all this. Bad Boys Ride or Die. Look, this might be a bit of a controversial topic. Yeah, I'm going to spoil it Hollywood, so otherwise, it might be a bit of a controversial topic. I think this is the best Bad Boys they've done by far. I think by far this is the best one. I ain't even gonna hold nothing back from it. Like, I do think 2 is really good, but this one has given the sense of connection to previous movies that 3 just didn't do, and 2 had some of as well. But this one actually connects stuff and sort of goes back to some of the earlier things in the movies that I enjoyed. I really do. Just keeping it. I think it's by far the best one. I mean, lots of things. First off, let me just give a shout out to the MVP of the movie. And this is not a joke, not a game.
Yes, Reggie.
Not a game.
Reggie did his thing.
Right here has come so far from where
Reggie Wick. Reggie
When I
Wick.
tell you, Pepe, this scene right. When I tell you, Reggie has come.
That's why I
such
popped
a
that.
long
I told
way.
you I pop right here.
He's come such a long way. Started from the bottom. Reggie might got the best scene in the movie. I ain't gonna hold you. Reggie,
Easily.
He's got the best scene in the entire movie. I mean, he got a couple of scenes that might be the best scene in the movie. He came a long way from
This
being
scene was
mean
crazy.
to busting
great.
down double-digit people storming in on the house. My buddy needed one word.
15.
My brother needed one word. Hey, yo, you got people coming. Get them out the house. That's all you had to tell Reggie. He's like, I bet this Call of Duty skills finna come in contact real soon. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. But it was
came from war. Just came from war in Yemen with the Marines. Shout out to
boy.
You ain't got no
He was-
job.
he was
You just
special
sit up here
forces.
eating up all my snacks.
I just came in. Like,
So-
what you
so
want
he-
from me? And also, I'm glad Unico brought up Martin Lawrence. So let me
So my
just say,
question.
the funniness that Martin
Wait,
Lawrence brought to-
Chris got a question.
huh?
No, my
Hollywood got a
question was, so is he so he Reggie Wick now? That's what we saying?
He's
Yes.
Reggie Wick.
He is
Yes,
Reggie Wick.
Reggie
he
Wick
is.
is okay.
Wick.
He really is.
That passes. That's
Wait.
That passes. 15 people.
We showed the
15
scene.
people.
We showed the scene right there when he's in the scene. He's doing it. Hollywood, since you here, you already got the spoiler. They did it. They did the scene. Hollywood at the end when you can show the picture. With this scene, they did it. Martin and them was behind talking to each other, and he walked up. And he said, Can I cook permission to cook my chicken on the grill?
Sir. And
Sir.
he stood there.
And they said,
No.
You see this? You think who do you think he is? He gonna run on our grill? He gonna do this? And then they did a little threatening thing they did like they did in the other movie.
Fan service.
And then
They
looked
did
at
a
him.
lot of fan service in this movie, which is
And
what
he-
I really
Yeah.
enjoyed. I can just think of 3 or 4 off the top of my head where like things that you had, like I was telling my family because I went as like a group, and like this, how they basically reenacted the scene where they grill him for prom. And they reenact the scene where, well, basically they flip it where this time Marcus saves Mike instead of Mike saving Marcus in the street. And then they get up all slow and they have that roundabout shot. And another one that a lot of people probably don't notice is the scene where he's like wearing a purplish, pinkish, like iridescent shirt. And it is supposed to be like fan service to when he wears that like really gaudy purple suit. It's like it's made out of the same material. And so there was just so many little intricate details that they put into this that I really appreciated just for fan service alone. And I kind of like that outside of the son, they didn't really focus the son and a little bit of the like his mom. They didn't really focus too much on the last movie. And I'm glad about that because as I said, when we've talked about Bad Boys, that was my least favorite Bad Boy movie. I hated the Bruja storyline. And so I haven't watched it again since watching it the first time in theaters. So I was glad that they connected it to the other 2 movies more than this, because I felt like that would have made it a little bit more convoluted. I felt like they went back to their roots. The reason why we fell in love with Bad Boys 1 and 2, which was like pure cop work, being cops and being friends and being black. There we go.
They did give McGrath a little bit from 3 because if you remember the scene when he pulled off the fingernail, that's from 3. And when he was in
Oh
the
yeah,
house.
talking about the torture.
So they got
Colombian.
McGrath had a lot of callbacks from 3. But like I said, Reggie at the end, Hollywood, they did it and they looked at him and they said, I ain't telling them nothing. Then Mike
He
said,
stood there.
Mike said, yeah, and Mike said he got a little look in his eye. I'm gonna cook the potato salad and I'm gonna set the dressing. You got the grill.
They said, "Hey man, that man put down 15 people. I'm not gonna
15
tell him nothing
people.
about that.
15 people.
I ain't gonna tell him a thing. Bro, you
We all watched it. We watched it.
like,
It was good.
like, we not tell. I give so much
15
props.
bodies?
Yes.
My man
15
Reggie out
15
there.
bodies.
It was
Well,
minutes, dog. It was
when-
3
His
minutes.
loved ones are in the closet.
And he
Yeah,
was
he
just
was
And
chilling.
his loved ones in the closet.
He the
Mhm.
new equalizer?
Man, he
For
was
real.
the new
That's what it
equalizer.
was.
Like,
So
I was like,
can I-
oh wait a minute.
so
Like,
can
I give so much props to them, and then we're like Reggie's 1. The humor is 2 because to me, Martin Lawrence hadn't been this funny in the Bad Boys series in probably like 2 movies. Like I enjoyed the funniness because they just had him be tripping for the entirety of the movie, and he was just tripping balls, and it was hilarious. Like they made it work. Like he was like the part of the movie that wasn't. Like they made him like Martin Lawrence. You're gonna be the reason that these people remember that this is a movie and not all serious, because we know Mike Lowry, he had serious stuff going on the entirety of the movie. But they made it where you are the unfun. You are like the
You know
CGI.
what I like about this?
The CGI in the beginning of the movie where this man went and had a whole near-death experience was just amazingly hilarious to me. Like that, it was so
That
extra.
almost turned me off though. Like when I saw that, I was like, "Here we go." I was like, "This is about to be some Fast and the Furious, like bringing random shit in here that don't make sense." Because that's what I didn't like about the Bruja stuff. I was like, "Where is this fucking coming from?" I was like, "I feel like we're in a different genre." And so when I saw that, I said, "I know that this is not happening," but I know that people do have near-death experiences because I've had one myself and stuff, and how that works and stuff. But at first I was like, I know this nigga don't know the future now. I was like, why is he seeing the apes? I was like, why is he seeing how the universe was created? But as it played on, like it worked. And I think that they realized that one of the funniest times that we had of Martin Lawrence was when he was tripping on the X and he was just like saying and doing anything. So I felt like they decided to do that in a more realistic way. But it was hilarious to watch. Like this man, like I get why he's going on tour again, because he proved again that he was still really funny. Who did his head like that? That has to be Photoshopped. His face is this has to be Photoshopped. There's no way that this
He looking at
just
Grinch.
watch this movie today. There ain't no way this either that or they put his head on the wrong stunt double's body, because this does not make sense.
Log off.
Eminent, I'm telling you, did you see his face when he looking at Grinch? That head was big. That head getting wide out there.
Oh, let me tell you my favorite part about this movie outside of Reggie though. There is a portion of the movie.
Before you do this, because we want to take you seriously, there's Butterfinger right next to your face on the screen.
Oh,
stop that.
Which is hilarious.
Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go.
Is the fact that it's something that I loved when it's my favorite part of why I love the movie Doom. And the fact that they decided to go in like a first person shooter visual shot. Loved that. I loved that because even though, and I still believe that Doom is underrated because it was ahead of its time, because we had never seen that done in movies up until then. And you still don't see it. And so I really like that, as well as you could tell that they did a lot of drone shots, like how they were moving the camera. There was a lot of aerial type shots that you could tell was done by a drone, but it still looked really good and really clean to where you weren't like, well, what am I missing? There was a lot of fights where you were seeing every aspect of what was going on in the room. You were seeing Marcus fight. You were seeing Mike fight. You were seeing the other two agents fight. You were seeing them try and get away and stuff like that. And so I really liked that. I thought that was done really well. The cinematography on it was really good, because I'm always worried about older movies coming back and then them trying to stick with the times of CGI and special effects. I always think that it's going to look like some of these, and it's hard to keep up because with the budget, like I just watched a music video not too long ago from Ronnie Radke. And when I tell you that nigga has a whole fucking, like his own cinematic universe, the way these videos are shot are insane. And I'm like, what type of budget do you have? Because I've seen movies in the past 10 years that have less or worse CGI than this. So I was worried because they're trying to do so much, but it didn't give off like Fast and the Furious. It seemed all realistic. Like it made sense. Beverly Hills Cop 4 better be good. Well, I hope so.
Like you said, it's a bunch of these older type movies coming back for new sequels. And so with these time skips, we're going to see how that goes. We do have our own Unico Williams. What was your favorite part of the movie, since we're getting these favorites out the way, my good friend?
My favorite part of the movie was it was the balance. It was the balance for me. Like, typically they try and say, we just so funny. There's so many explosions. No, this movie was super duper balanced. And I have to say that I'm not going to say it's the best movie of all time. I've watched the Godfather series. I've watched a lot of things. I've done all these things. But I just want to say that it was just the most balanced movie I've ever seen.
I like
And it was great. Like it was a good movie. Like I laughed during the action scenes, like we're like, oh, ha, 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 ha. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where I was at, like while watching the movie. And this movie was good, man. It was really good.
It was very balanced.
I just really enjoyed the like it was like you go to the circus, right? And you're expecting to just be entertained, right? I went to the circus and it was the best circus I've ever seen. and I think it's leading up to now. I don't know how they'll do this, but here's a guess, right? Call of Duty Boy versus Esperado. Not versus. Not even versus.
Maybe
Just
teaming up.
team
That could be good.
Let's not do Bad Boys 5.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
Because I was thinking about it the whole time. Like I was like, okay, are they trying to set this up? You know, and I thought about it. It was a thought. Is it a classic car thing? Is kind of 80-ish. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I mean, you talking about like a Bad Boys 5, but like up there.
No, it's Esperado. You know who I'm talking about. Dun, 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 dun. And then Reggie.
Oh, you want the sons and the son-in-law?
I felt like that's what they were trying to build to. You
But
understand?
they never met each other. That'd be interesting. No, they never met.
Yeah,
each other.
I don't know if they're building to that, but it wouldn't surprise me if they. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I don't think that they're necessarily building up to it, but I think that it would be cool to imagine because we sent them off. But it's kind of hard to make that work because obviously Reggie works for the government, and one is like on America's Most Wanted list. So I don't know if they could do that, but you never know because the way they make movies now, they'll come up with some type of storyline and make it work. But I don't think that they were necessarily hinting at that. I think that this was supposed to be closer to the end. I would be surprised if they gave us like another one because I think that there's just a lot happening. Like, I just don't know if they're going to give us another one. And if they did, like, where would they take that? Because they are older. They acknowledge that they're older. You know, Mike's dealing with panic attacks because it's the first time he ever had anything serious to lose and stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna do that.
They didn't touch on the anxiety part. Like,
well, they did.
They introduced it, but like, and they kind of touched on it.
I mean, they did.
Well,
Martin with Platinum.
I think it was written between the lines. Like, I feel like those were one of those things that it's based off of how you view the movie because you see that he has a lot of trauma and he blames himself for what happened to their captain. And so that adds some of the depth. But then they also focus a lot on how he can't lose the woman that he just married and stuff. And so someone even says that, I think in the movie at one point, that he has something to lose now. So that plays into the anxiety as well. And then he's also trying to get his son out of prison and stuff. And so that's another aspect of things. I think he is realizing that he's not invincible. And so
it was two times right in the actual show. Like they said, hey, you have anxiety. And then
they say it a lot. Like they offer him therapy. So like he's at some place and two people are like, let me know if you need contact to a therapist. Like, let me know if you need to contact to a therapist and stuff. So yeah, they say it in this scene. They're the white guy, which I think is hilarious, and I'm glad that they brought him and Vanessa Hudgens back. They say it because on the left, I really enjoyed them, and I thought that he's a good comic relief as well. He's a funny character, so I enjoyed him. But yeah, they mention it multiple times that he has anxiety, but Will Smith's character, Mike Lowry, refuses to admit that he's having panic or accept that he's having panic attacks. And I think it isn't until like Marcus says what he says and slaps the shit out of him a couple times and is like,
That was a funny
all
part.
of this and all of this bullshit. Like shitty things happen, and you got to keep pushing it. Like we bad boys for life type shit. So yeah.
One thing I did like about this movie is I touched on it in my 12-minute non-spoiler / spoiler review. I touched on this because I want to just go and
What is a non-spoiler?
Do it.
The first half is non-spoiler, then the second half is spoiler, and I got it like timestamped so you can see at the bottom it say non-spoiler. But they kind of switch characters during that growth process. Marcus becomes less worried about life. I cannot die. I cannot die. Even Will Smith pulls a gun in his face and he said, "Well, if I shoot you, won't go die." He said, "Fate tells you you won't shoot me. It won't happen. You ain't gonna do it. So I ain't even worried about it. You're not gonna pull a trigger on me right here. I won't die." Which goes into the end of the movie, by the way. And then Will Smith is the character that's worried about things now. That's a complete switch from the other movies. But it's in a way that they both grow from the character they were. Now, Martin, I don't know if y'all caught it. Martin even did the scene when Will Smith jump over the thing and start shooting both ways. That's Mike Lowry's thing. He does that in almost every movie. He jumps behind the counter and shoots. Mike Lowry was scared to do that. Marcus did. And like it's a unique way they grew into doing both characters. And then they came back to kind of a middle ground toward the end when Mike Lowry he saw his girl in trouble and she couldn't take the shot. But then all of a sudden he like, you it's not your fault. When the captain said it's not your fault, he kind of woke up, got slapped up. He's like, okay, I'm back to kind of normal, but I'm still balanced. I got a family now. I got a wife, which I never had in all these years. I'm not the bachelor and trying to sleep with everybody. I'm more balanced. And Marcus came back to life when the alligator bit him. That's when he came back.
Let me tell you, when I saw that scene, I was like, "Don't be stupid." As a Floridian, I'm like, he may die. I don't know. You playing with this? Don't play with this alligator.
Can we ask you?
Can you ask me what?
A real alligator? Like, is that a real alligator farm down there in Florida?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised either. Like, I'm just asking, is that a thing? Is that a legend? Is there an albino alligator that is just running around?
That is a legend.
Like South Florida. It's a legend. I mean, I played Red Dead Redemption too, so you gotta understand.
That's crazy.
I know that
but I do need people to stop thinking that we walk outside and we have to like wrangle alligators. The average person that lives in Florida has never even seen a gator outside of at a zoo.
Somebody threw an alligator in my pond one time. That wasn't good.
But I'm saying, like, we
had a pond outside. Some dude threw a
I believe that's why they put the actual Wikipedia page on the screen so you could look it up for yourself. So, like in the shot when the guy is researching it, they pull up the Wikipedia page for that abandoned place in South Florida.
Hold on, I have two screens.
Well, while he do his research, let me think. I really think this was. I think it was just a really, really good movie. I think it surprised me just how much I actually enjoyed it. I didn't have amazing expectations for Bad Boys 4, just to be honest. Like, I thought it would just be like an okay movie. And it'd be like, this blew me out the park. Just so much. The fan service was on point. The jokes was on point. The nods to earlier parts in other movies was on point. Even random spots where they decided to do redneck singing for like it was good. All of the stuff just hit.
Purebred white boy.
It just hit. Like,
that shirt was hilarious.
Yo, Reba hit the Bad Boy song. I was like, that's dope. They got Reba to do the Bad Boy
that this hit. Like, I really was surprised. I think this is like, to me, you know, I think they got a hit. Now, as far as the Bad Boys 5, the only way I could see them doing something like that probably would be like, you know, doing like Reggie or the Son or some other kind of stuff, like all four of them working together, some of that. But to me, I don't think they should. I think we just ended off with this. Like, I think you done hit all the old nods, all the old moments. Both of them married. I think you just be good with this. You can leave it at this point or whatever. If you want to do a spinoff, fine. You can do a spinoff maybe with the Son or some stuff like that. You know what? Okay, because the only other way I see you doing another movie is like early. Like, you'd have to do a movie based off of like their origins or like their early time. And because they're so old, you're gonna be like dialing back the clock with a lot of editing and stuff like that to make them look younger and stuff. So I really don't want to do that. I just leave it where it is. I think they got a hit. I really do. I think this flat out they got a hit with this one. any final thoughts with the Bad Boys series? Any final thoughts with your favorite parts of the movie, or anything else, or any other scenes that you enjoy? Unico, you can be up first.
Just one thing. Everybody's like, is it against the Bad Boys 1? Because Bad Boys 1 was good. I mean, when I say it's good, it was a fun movie, right? It's like Friday, right? The hood classic, Friday.
Is Bad Boys a classic?
Huh?
I do believe that Bad Boys is a classic. It's rare that when you do like a one gotta go online and Bad Boys is in there, that Bad Boys gets put out. But I also believe that it's one of those movies that it worked for when it came out, and because you loved it, then you'll still watch it and stuff like that. Kind of like Friday, like not everything still hits the same, but it's still a solid movie. I think that they did a really good job on this movie. It's definitely better than the last one. It's up there with the first two for me. I'm debating on if I feel like it was better. I feel like in terms of action, it was better. Plot line, I don't know if I feel like it was better than the second one, but I did appreciate it. Just like you said, I didn't have negative thoughts about it, but I didn't have like super high hopes. It was kind of like how I went into Matrix 4, which they did the opposite and completely disappointed me and made me really mad. It made me really fucking mad as a Matrix stan. That shit really pissed me off. I've only walked out of the movie theater that mad one other time, and that was for free. 2 times. Lion King, because as much as I love Beyonce, that was not it. And they didn't do Be Prepared. And so that made me
talk about 2 movies that I actually liked.
No, they didn't do Be Prepared, so it was already a wash after that. And then also Love and Thunder. Love and Thunder should not have been made. It was just a waste.
That movie, and I don't think it's amazing.
No, I disliked most of it.
Love and Thunder,
but
it was not it. But this movie was solid. I could see myself watching it again. I loved the fan service. So just as someone that grew up with Bad Boys, it could stay in the collection. Like if I still bought DVDs or Blu-rays, I would pick this one up and watch it when it comes on TV and stuff like that. There wasn't much in here that I feel like it needed to make it a better movie. Because you kind of got everything. You got the nostalgic characters. Like you said, it referenced a lot of major plot points from different movies. And it got back to the good old, the whole equation, like the original way that they did Bad Boys 1 and 2. So I think that if I had, it was a solid, good movie. There's not much else you can say about it.
To round it off, finally, for Bad Boys, you're going to give your score 1 to 10. What do you rate the movie? Unico Williams, you on top. You're up first. We're going to make sure you're up from a damn screen.
You on top.
there's
Bad Boys 4, Ride or Die, 1 to 10. What you rate?
Thanks for letting me go first, because there's a very real chance that all my lights can go out at any point. I gotta give it a 9. I mean, I don't want to say it's because I have different critiques, right, of how I look at movies and how I do things. Like, I feel like how this was done was a 10. The balance, Thanos doing it was the balance was perfect. That's what I thought the whole time, right? Yeah, did I like Page Master a whole lot? I definitely did. Did I like James and the Giant Peach at some point? It was the greatest movie I've ever seen. Yeah, I loved Aladdin. I love Lion King, both of them. The live action one too.
Trash.
I can't wait to see Mufasa coming out December 20th.
Now I will check out Mufasa, but
We do want the backstory of Mufasa. We do want
No,
that.
I'm gonna watch Mufasa.
I didn't know I wanted it, but when they introduced the idea, I was like, yeah, actually, yeah.
I'm down for that. Yeah.
December 20th, but I'm giving it a 9. Because I don't want anybody to get super mad at me for giving it a 10. But I just think that it just was so different from everything they've already done, and they did better. It depends on if you're Mike Lowry or I didn't care. Like we got Fat Martin, right? Like I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Like Martin Lawrence is Martin Lawrence, man. Like he sells out skating arenas. You feel me? But we still love him. We know Martin. We love him. He literally did something at the Pepsi Coliseum in Indianapolis. It's an ice rink. Cool. I get it. But he carried this movie. I never thought I would say that with him being next to Will Smith, but he carried this movie. This movie was good. I really liked it. I'm giving it a 9. I'm done. And
we got 1-9. I've been sitting here struggling.
I really wanted to give it a 10, but
I've been sitting here struggling, trying not to give this movie a 10 out of 10.
I'm struggling. I
have failed. I give this movie a 10 out of 10. I'm not even gonna hold it.
It's a good movie.
I think this movie is great. I'm sorry. I have not laughed at Martin Lawrence like this, in like movie settings in years. And not saying Martin Lawrence is a bad actor or anything, especially in Bad Boys, everything hit. Whether like, especially if you are like the fans of the previous movies. I'm sorry, you seeing Reggie take out 15 people, it's gonna shoot off no matter what you look at. Like when I went to the movie theater, we actually had applause at parts of the movie. Like people were clapping. Like this movie was good.
Like Avengers level applause.
Not that level, but like people were clapping. Like we actually had like a round of applause. So I'm sorry. Like to me, the movie's a 10 out of 10. Like it's a surprising 10 because it was just good. Like I didn't have a real negative to say about the movie. Like the worst negative I could say, some of the CGI with Martin Lawrence having out of body experience, and then like Ebony said, as the movie went on, and he kept referencing it. It's like, oh well, it made sense why they did that. He's like, oh, he's talking about I was knee deep swimming in the ocean on the other side, and I saw the beginning of time. Like he's sitting here referencing it, so it wasn't just we did it for craps and giggles. No, we did it so he can reference stuff for 2 hours.
Monray, can I ask you this? Are you happy about the fact that Martin Lawrence's wife didn't yell the whole time? Because that's like pretty much she's typecast as the yelling black lady. I
did think it was weird that they changed her because she wasn't the wife in the original movies. So I thought that it was interesting that we went to Tasha. How I see her as Tasha, and then what's funny is like her husband's name is Marcus, and in all the Tyler Perry movies, her name is Marcus. So she's typically yelling, "All right, Marcus," but then I love you, Marcus. I was like, I feel like they did that intentionally. But if you recall, Bad Boys, if I remember, this movie was done on Tyler Perry's like production set, wasn't it? Because I feel like when they were first filming it, it was all on the same thing. I could be wrong, but I thought it was. But I thought that was funny, and I wasn't sure if that was deliberate to be like when she says it, like "I love you, Marcus." Like I wasn't sure if she was doing that deliberately to play up how we know her, but it was good.
I really just can't point out a negative aspect about the movie. I enjoyed it from the beginning to end. I was pleasantly surprised by a lot of surprise they threw in the movie. Shoot, when Martin slapped the mess out of Will, I was like, okay, going deep one. Man, he slapped the mess out of him. Like, bro, I don't need that right now. We getting shot at. Bring the mean one out. And then I'm like, bro, he's like, and he kept slapping. I'm like, bro, this is what like just is serious enough to where you're invested in the plot. But then it's funny enough at points to get you to be like, okay, take a chill pill. Like, we serious. Martin Lawrence has a heart attack at the beginning of the movie. This is after he went and snuck a hot dog when they're on the way to go somewhere. He told this man not to get no dang Skittles. Like, I'm sorry. the slow-mo moment in the little club museum area where Martin is sitting there trying to flick jelly beans into his mouth and drink out of the juice. I'm sorry. The stuff hit.
That was God. That was God.
I was like, bro, like,
that was God.
So I'm just...
Nobody likes the black jelly bean.
If I gotta edit something,
nobody likes the black jelly bean.
I'm like, to me,
no, that whole scene He was just putting his mouth on anything. It was hilarious.
I'm like, I'm sorry, bro.
Hilarious.
The movie hit for me. It hit. Like if I'm gonna be critical with 9.5, I'm like, it's a 10. The movie hit. The movie. I think they got a
I
summer
was scared to
blockbuster
say 10. You, Monterey, you had
up until we see Deadpool and Wolverine in about a month and a half. Up until then, I think this movie gonna kill. I think it's good all the way around.
Agreed.
They'll make you.
tell you, my past life, you was a fish.
Bro, we have quotable moments where he's sitting there like, bro, you was a donkey.
Hey, who was you?
And I kept beating on you. Like,
That shit was hilarious.
Zoe, who was you?
He said, "You gonna come back? He gonna come back as Sanders. I'm gonna step in shit."
No, Zelma, who was you? If you
He ain't gonna win the
was a
socks.
fish, answer the question. If you gonna call my boy Monterey a fish, who was you?
You were the fish. You were raining.
So who was you?
Flopping in the rain.
You was who?
I said, Monte was flopping in the rain.
bro,
But who is you?
No,
he was my fish. I'm Martin. I'm Martin.
If I'm the fish, that means you the algae because we're soulmates, bro. We always a part of each other, man. You're not gonna sit there and tell me that ain't funny. I'm sorry. This movie got me.
No, listen, I enjoyed it. I give it.
My nigga reached for that one. The algae, that was a reach.
No, I got it. I thought it worked.
Listen,
But it does.
I gotta give it a 9. Shout out to 9. Y'all know I grade hard, so I can't just give things 10 S's, but it's a 9. That means it's really good to me if it's a 9.
Yeah.
So this movie was amazing. I loved it. I enjoyed it. All the throwbacks, and the fact that we can laugh at throwbacks instead of being like, "Yo, I didn't like that part," was amazing. And shout out to Power 2. They had a hit this week too.
Man, that was a good first episode.
Black people winning this week, dog. Black people winning.
Hey, clap
Winning.
that up.
Assassin's Creed gonna hit
I got
to
one.
that man on kick who said he don't like the blacks.
All right, somebody comment.
Not the blacks.
That man said this why I don't. That man
You
said
got
this why I don't
2
stand
9s and a 10. Miss Ebony Moonbeam, your score.
It was a
All
scary
right.
one.
So
She finna ruin it.
I don't-
Oh, dang it.
yeah. So I don't give 10s like that. Like
I don't-
at all. Like that.
Infinity War.
9s. Well, yeah, okay. But like I said, that's been how long now? But 9s are tough for me as well. I'm somewhere between like an 8.5 and a 9, and I'm gonna tell you why. Though I loved almost everything about that movie, when I left, I was just like, yeah, that was a good movie. I didn't go, oh, that was the best movie I'd ever seen, or this gonna be the top movie of the year, or any of those things. Like I said, I was really put off original, and I think some of that is because I just disliked the last movie so much that I didn't have like a connection as much to his son. So because of that and the guy and McGrath, I didn't have this. I didn't have the full connection as much, so that kind of fell a little flat for me. And I also didn't. The one thing that I didn't like was, and I just had it, and then I looked at you, said an 8.75. What was it? Damn, there was something specific that I was like, God damn it!
We
You really threw me off there. What was it? It was something specific too, where I was just like, oh, that's what it was. I don't like movies that I can predict. Well, like I can say, okay, I like them, but I do have to take something away from that. And like the mole in the bureau or in the police force or whatever, like I called that. I knew who it was instantly. Then when it was revealed, and I was like, all right. So I think that's why I would probably put it down 1. But I'm not gonna give it an 8.75. I am gonna give it a 9 because I did thoroughly enjoy it and I would watch it again. And like to where I would actually physically go see it again because I thought it was hilarious. And honestly, they won me over just with the fan service alone. The fan service alone, just like Unico said, Martin Lawrence really carried that. If he wasn't as funny as he was in this movie, it would have just been like your typical bad boy movie. So I thought that it turned it up a notch. And I like the nuance between the characters kind of switching roles, which happens when you're around someone for so long. You start picking up traits of theirs and stuff like that. So I really like that. So I'm going to give it a 9.
And with that, that gives an average score from this show of a 9.25. That is a dang good movie. That lets you
That's a
know
good
right
movie.
there. That's a
But
dang
no,
good movie.
Google. But yes, absolutely.
Especially
Oh,
to
yeah.
not be the first movie, because sequels typically do not do well, let alone a fourth in a franchise.
You ain't lying. We got the Fast and the Furious to know about how that goes.
I don't even know what be happening in Fast and Furious halftime. I just be watching.
know, 'cause
I thought John Cena catch a truck, and I was like, okay, on side of another truck, and I'm like, okay, so this man can catch a truck that's falling on side of another truck and hold it up in his hand while this truck is sliding on the road. I'm like, this dude, is this God?
No, like
Or just like with movies like that, they will completely change the character. Like John Cena in the first movie, he was like this hard ass and he was ruthless, and you were like, you liked him because he was so badass. And then in the next movie, he didn't flip to like this cute, cuddly like uncle that, yeah, he can fight, but now he's not ruthless. That he's like the comic relief and stuff, which I don't like when they do that with characters. They do that with Dwayne Johnson and a lot of things, but that's because he can't act. But I digress.
Vin Diesel seems in these movies to turn everybody into some hokey uncle.
It's all about family, but you know, when we go
Family,
to
so
the
now
end
you
of the-
win.
It's all
it's
about family.
Speaking of family, Miss Ebony Moonbeam, where can they find you and the rest of the Waifu Views family?
You can find me at Ebony_Moonbeam on all social media platforms. I am a cosplayer and I do a bunch of anime content. You can find me on Wednesdays at the Blurred Cartels Roundtable. You can also find me after that on Keep It 99's Casual Conversations with Zelme and Afrokami765, where you already know I like to be a debaucherous whore. I'm super problematic and I'm going to force a lot of smut on people this month because it is Pride Month. And who doesn't like, and I'm not gonna do you like that, Monray. I'm gonna chill out. 'Cause I was about to say really uncensored. But tomorrow we have a show. Waifu Views has a show. You can find Waifu Views on all social media. Well, not everything. You can find Waifu Views on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We have a show tomorrow. We are going into actually Men's International Health Week. And so what we are going to do is talk about the manliest men in anime. And we are going to do superlatives for male characters. So be sure to check that out on Waifu Views tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And yeah, I think that's all I got for you.
Well, be prepared. Do not fall off on Miss Ebony Moonbeam. She will, possibly make you lose all sense of knowledge and reason when you go down her page or, stare too lovingly into her eyes. Do not be fooled. Do not be fooled. Otherwise, Zelme. Don't fall for a pretty face. Don't fall for the pretty face.
She has a natural Sharingan right now.
Yep, there it is. Thank you. The natural Sharingan. She will
be in the Izanagi.
You'll be the life of all life.
I like that.
And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I died 12 times. This is my 13th day.
Tori kind of trying to break the charade of the Sharingan.
Zelme, where can they find you?
He's been trying so hard to break me. He's like, if this man tells me one more time that whatever I'm saying can't be real because I grew up in a gated community, like I did not grow up in a gated community. I just happened to live in one now.
That show is
I was a completely different person, and I only show y'all a portion of me. I assure you.
Yeah, we understand that.
Listen, Tori got whole narratives against everybody on our show, on the show. So everybody got a narrative.
Zell, where can they find you?
You can find me at Keep It 99, overall 99. Right there, y'all see the sign. Let's Keep It 99 now on YouTube. You can see me on Casual Conversation. You can see me on Keep It 99 Me. You can see the reviews. We got the power review up. We got it coming up live next Friday. We'll put it out on video next Saturday. So anybody want to join, y'all can join. Cause power, it was good this week. All of that, we got House of Dragons coming next Sunday. I'm excited about that. And then we got Bel Air August 15th. So we got a lot of good shows coming up, a lot of things, some movies coming out. Twister coming out soon.
Twister's coming out soon. Aliens in August. If you didn't see the Alien trailer, that shit looks so good.
I know you.
Missed
I
out
knew.
on-
I ain't gonna lie. When I
Missed
saw
out
that
on-
trailer, I promise I thought of Ebony. I don't know why I don't have.
So
I
here
love.
we go.
I know.
So that one there was a violation. Personally, I wouldn't have it. And if
Yo, face hugger supremacy.
Okay, so we're just gonna go straight to Unico Williams. You know, somebody that's a little more pure, the babyface bandit himself. Where can they find you at? Not these.
Are we really calling you Nico Pure? The like in the
y'all
intro,
two right now.
the intro literally says dark skinned women. I love dark skinned women. I bang them all the time. Every time I hear that, I'm like,
The two of y'all right now, you know, y'all have him beat. Where can they find you, Unico Williams?
That's classic.
it is a classic.
I would like to address a couple of things.
The Free Robert campaign. I'm not saying free R. Kelly. I'm saying free Robert.
Okay. and then we're the problem. Okay.
So,
All right.
So
The problem.
Yeah, he said it.
A Quiet Place.
But he agreed.
He's
He
bringing
agreed.
it up is what I mean.
So A Quiet Place Day 1 is coming out.
Can't wait.
Too. So
Cannot
I
wait.
see that.
That
So
does look interesting.
I'm very.
It looks so good.
I think the powers to be really want us to stay inside this summer because it's going to be a great entertainment summer. I think this is probably, I guess, post COVID. They was like, let's get it. And post writer's strike, they was like, all right, nigga, we got some heat, nigga. Look at this script. So I guess they got bigger checks now. But so everything better be heat coming out. Period. But you can find me at Unico Williams. Do you hear me with Unico Williams? We are returning. Unico Williams has had he lives life. He lives life, man. So stuff happens, and so I get those experiences so I can give them to you, and I can tell these stories in a very funny way. And I have a very funny one for you. So I have like 3 actually very funny stories. There's blackouts involved. There are
Crackheads.
there's framed DUIs. There's a lot going on.
It's like a
Man.
movie. It's like a 2-hour movie.
It's a Harry Potter 7 part 2. Like you get to the 7th book and there's a part 2 movie. Like that's how life is. And that's okay. I just want to give you my but I got my nephew's jacket back.
Let's go.
So shout out to that. This shit is fucking crazy. So keep on watching everything. Unico UNIQO Williams, UNIQO _Williams on Twitter. I'm still gonna call it Twitter. Do you hear me? That's it. That is what it is. And also, I'm your local neighborhood Spider-Man. And some kind of multiverse is where I just don't have powers. I'm just like a
Sorry, my dog scared the crap out of me.
like I'm just living paycheck to paycheck like Peter Parker. I'm just Peter Parker. That's my Spider-Verse. I'm just
I know.
Beverly Hills Cops, July 3rd.
I know.
Beverly Hill Cops. Shut up. What?
Oh, it's coming. I thought it was later in the year.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
God.
Story time with Unico Williams is coming soon. Don't worry about it. Otherwise,
What did you say? What you said? What is?
Story time with Unico Williams is coming soon. That will be an ongoing series. We have
Oh,
at least
you hear
9
me?
parts prepped and planned and ready. We will go to UnicoWilliams.com to be able to watch episode 1 soon. Otherwise, of course, this is Monray Hudson. Everywhere it says Monray Hudson, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, as it still exists. We can be found. We appreciate all for watching and know
Ridiculous.
If you've gotten this far, like, comment, and subscribe to the Make It Make Sense, the podcast channel, to get all of your wonderful funnies, just like, Bad Boys 4. Thank you all for watching. We are done. We are out.